Hello, everyone. Happy to be here and to provide some information on Hawaiian Electric's wildfire mitigation plans. And thanks for the opportunity to be here. Wildfires are a societal and economic threat requiring many lines of defenses with utilities, first responders, landowners, government, public policy, and individuals. And all of us have a collective responsibility to lessen those risks. And Hawaiian Electric's work is mostly concentrating on reducing the risk of ignitions from our infrastructure. With that, we've been engaging with community members and partners to inform our strategies and a lot of stakeholder work to coordinate emergency response as well. Continuously improving our strategies along with stakeholders and with oversight from the Public Utilities Commission, and then also identifying areas of high risk on each island that we serve, as well as addressing those drivers of risk. Our highest priority at the company is the safety of our communities and our employees. And in January of 2025, we released our 25 through 2027 wildfire safety strategy. And at the end of last year, the Public Utilities Commission did approve that strategy, which we are in the middle of implementation currently. Our strategy is based on these 4 pillars for our wildfire mitigation plan. I'll go over them briefly here. So the 4 pillars are grid hardening and redesign, situational awareness, operational practices, and stakeholder and community partnerships. So when we talk about grid hardening and redesign, that has to do with strengthening our infrastructure. That includes replacing equipment that are less likely to produce sparks or ignitions, as well as replacing poles with stronger poles, as well as conductors, and also targeted undergrounding. For situational awareness, we've made a lot of progress in this area. We've deployed AI detection cameras to provide more situational awareness as to ignitions that might be occurring in our service territories, as well as deploying a network of weather stations to give us better insight into the microclimates around all of the fire risk areas on the islands that we serve. We've also made operational changes to help reduce the risk of wildfires. We conduct annual inspections of our infrastructure, making repairs as necessary, routine vegetation management, as well as implementing other measures such as protective measures that will reduce the probability of ignitions, as well as our public safety power shutoff program. And in the area of stakeholder and community partnerships, we work with emergency responders as well as other first responders to coordinate activities. We also have stakeholder working groups where we regularly meet with various external stakeholders to exchange information on the various risk reduction activities that each of our organizations are conducting, as well as a lot of community events to just raise awareness of potential wildfire risks and how to prepare for events such as public safety power shutoffs. I just want to provide an update on some of the progress that we've made in 2025 here on Maui. In the areas of grid hardening, we've upgraded a lot of equipment, so that includes like fuses and lightning arresters. The type of equipment that we're now replacing it with are ones that are less likely to produce sparks. So we've replaced over 3,900 arresters and lightning arresters and fuses. We've also replaced around 987 wood poles, and we've also replaced about 7.5 miles of overhead lines with stronger conductors. In the area of situational awareness, we did add another 16 weather stations last year. That brings the total number of weather stations that we have on Maui to 37. So that has really helped not only our own operational planning and decision making, because we're able to now see the weather in various areas around the island, including all the different microclimates, but it also has helped the National Weather Service expand their situational awareness, and they use our weather station or network as well for their observations. We've also deployed AI-assisted cameras to provide us a greater view shed of our elevated fire risk areas. Each of the county fire departments actively use these cameras in their response, as the cameras are able to detect smoke that could potentially lead to wildfires, and the fire departments as well as Hawaiian Electric are able to respond more quickly to ignitions. In the areas of operational practices, we've also included more sensing on our system. So we've deployed over 2,500 fault current indicators. So those help our troubleshooters identify where faults are more quickly and able to restore customers more quickly. We've also deployed what we call enhanced fast trip protection. So that allows, anytime there's a disturbance on our lines, we're able to de-energize those lines more quickly so that it reduces the chance of an ignition. And we've also done our routine vegetation trimming around our infrastructure. And as I mentioned earlier, we do have a lot of stakeholder engagement and community partnerships. We've held over 25 public meetings and outreach events, and every year we do annual exercises with government agencies and critical customers in preparation for public safety power shutoff events. So you can see the picture there. We had a annual exercise on Maui with MEMA and other agencies, so that we're better able to prepare all of us in terms of just communication and how we would respond to different scenarios. I wanted to quickly go over looking forward to some of the future plans on Maui. So for example, we are currently working with the community in Lahaina on a targeted undergrounding project. So we are looking at undergrounding our lines that go along Lahaina Luna Road. We've also recently started some critical pole hardening along Honopi'ilani Highway to replace some of those poles with composite or fiberglass poles. We're also looking at transmission line hardening of the West Maui transmission lines, and that work will be ongoing. These are all sort of medium-term projects that will take a few years to implement. And we're also doing a lot of work upcountry as well to harden those lines, as well as put in covered conductor, which helps to insulate wires from creating ignitions. And along with that, we are also still looking at our weather station network and our camera network to identify if there's any other areas that we need additional situational awareness with. and then also advancing some of our risk modeling and risk analysis efforts. And that will help us to mature the way that we think about wildfire risk on our infrastructure and to better able to make better decisions operationally with respect to wildfire risk. As I mentioned, we did implement our public safety power shutoff program a couple of years ago. I think last year in July, I believe we had Maui Island experienced their first public safety power shutoff upcountry. At that time we had observed winds that were above 45 miles per hour and low humidities. So we did initiate a public safety power shutoff at that time. Affected a small number of customers upcountry, and there was one other event earlier this year in West Maui where our weather stations in West Maui did observe wind gusts up to 83 miles per hour. So that's part of our operational protocols, and these programs will mature over time as we get more situational awareness and insight, and better able to be more surgical and targeted in the way we conduct those shutoffs, as well as helping out customers that are impacted by these public safety power shutoffs. And in addition to that, looking forward, we're continuing to harden the grid and doing ongoing preparedness with our emergency responders. And what we're currently doing is in the middle of implementing our 25 through 27 strategy, but we're already working on our next wildfire strategy for the years 28 through 29, and that is done with the oversight of the Public Utilities Commission as well as other stakeholders, and that we'll be releasing that strategy early next year. With that, I think I don't see any questions on here. Let's see. Yep. Okay. Thank you everyone for allowing me to provide this update on our wildfire mitigation plans. Thank you.